Everyone, Magic Flying Potato here. Hope you're doing well. And patch 0.13.1 is out, so be sure to download it as soon as you can. And here is what this patch addresses. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Grounded did. So with this update, the changes are Factional Reputation, Waft, Emitter in the Mixer. Let's go ahead and talk about those. So the amount of extra creatures that are sent during base attacks and multiplayer has been lowered. They lowered the amount of negative reputation. Make sure I say that right. Lowered the amount of negative reputation players gain when hanging around certain areas of the yard that aren't bug dens. Players no longer generate negative reputation with the bees by just hanging out in the flower bed area. The max amount of flying creatures that can be attacking your base at the exact same time has been halved. No change for non-flying creatures. The infected gnats no longer participate in defense events. Infected spiders no longer participate in the base attacks as well. For now, here's the key right here. For now, that will probably change. Defense event creatures are now much easier to stun. Defense event creatures now remain stunned for longer. Defense event creatures now have a much lower stun cooldown. Defense event creatures now take 3 times damage from turrets, up from 2 times, and the amount of attacking creatures sent to larger bases have been decreased in size. Go ahead and talk about what is the updates on the turrets. Turrets are now unlocked on earlier Burgle chips. Turret recipes have been changed to require lower tier ingredients to account for earlier acquisitions. The pollen turret now guarantees to stun almost all wave creatures in a single shot, as well as the creature's stun cooldown has to lapse before they can be stunned again. The pollen turret now applies a 70% movement slow for 20 seconds, and turrets can be aimed slightly higher and slightly lower. For combat, the player can now attack enemies using their melee weapon through windows and over walls more reliably. For charcoal items, the charcoal torch durability is doubled and now only requires 1 coal to repair the torch. The canteen durability is doubled and now holds up to 6 drops. Alright, so now let's go ahead and see what they did with the explosive bird trap. It now does significantly less damage to buildings and to players, does more damage to the wave creatures, now has twice the explosive range, and can also be placed on walls and ceilings. Update with armor. So for armor, all base armor damage threshold values increased by 10%. Go ahead and talk about what they did with the creature cards. Looting the last existing Tase T, Ruz T, and Art R in the yard will guarantee regular and gold card unlocks for those creatures. This is a retroactive thing for those who've already looted these creatures upon the yard. You will get this retroactive. Looting the assistant manager will grant you a gold card even if you have not previously peeped it. This will also be retroactive unlock for those who have already defeated the assistant manager without having peeped it upon loading your game. Let's talk about bug fixes on all platforms. Major issues. You can now invite players to your game and join players' games via the Steam overlay again. Improve memory usage on Xbox Series S to prevent out-of-memory crashes. Items will no longer gradually lose durability after multiple save loads on difficulties that are not medium. Here are some crash fixes that they have addressed. They fixed the loading crash dealing with the ant colonies, fixed the client crash when joining games dealing with quests, fixed random crashes on shutdowns, and fixed random crash relating to players approaching and moving away from creatures. Other issues that they have addressed: black soldier ants that are part of the defense events are properly lootable again. The grinder items now properly move to the completed section upon completion and no longer get stuck in the queue section. The mixers no longer take a long time to stop spinning on success, and the Ruz T gold card unlocks properly now. So these are all the things that they have fixed with the patch 0.13.1. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And as always, you guys have a great time out there exploring your backyard. Enjoy the journey. And I am Magic Flying Potato, and I am out.